Here's a mini lesson on Fiona Devine from the social stratification topic for GCSE Sociology.
Fiona Devine was interested in whether the attitudes and the perceptions and the activities of the working class had changed. She decided to interview Vauxhall car factory workers in Luton and think for a moment, what are the strengths and weaknesses of conducting an interview? Well, interviews produce qualitative data, which can be very insightful, very rich and detailed. But the drawback of interviews is that unfortunately, they can take a very long time to analyse and it's very difficult to establish reliability. Fiona Devine found that actually these working class car manufacturer, factory workers, they had a less communal lifestyle. What that means is that before, where they used to integrate with their wider community, send their kids over to the neighbours, their kids come over to theirs, there was none of that. They were living more privatised lives. Another thing is that they rejected the idea that they were these new working class affluent workers. They also still remained critical of capitalism despite having better living standards. So they were still throwing shade at the bourgeoisie and they considered themselves part of the proletariat. Another key finding is that she noticed that quite a few of the workers no longer aligned with Labour values, and typically the working class would vote for Labour. However, these new affluent workers of this new working class were not politically aligned to the Labour Party. A final note is that Fiona Devine came up with this term of privatised instrumentalism. The privatised part is that now this new working class began to live more private lives. So they weren't sharing with the community. They weren't as involved in each other's lives as they used to be. And then the second thing, instrumentalism, they saw work as a means to make money and not a means to make friends.
A major shout out to StudyFetch for helping me create these condensed slides on Fiona Devine's work. It's so nifty. Let me know if you want any other topics covered.